5 is the closest to 3, and 4 and 6 are more like 2. 3 is like 1 with a job system. That's I say 3 is an evolution. 5 is an evolution of 3 is an evolution of 1, and 4 and 6 are both evolutions of 2. The lessons learned are more direct between those, it feels like. I feel like I need the airship before I can. I think I need to do Ice Cave before I can do before I can get my job advancement, because I can't actually land on any of the islands. Yeah, so that's next. So, I mean, I don't have to go. I already got that. I got the canoe. I mean, once you have the canoe, you can go to Mount Gulg and go to the ice cavern. I'm going to beeline for the ice cavern. The design evolution is nice. Yeah. I think you can go to the ice cavern. Bow, bow, bow. Is it? I think you get to the ice cavern from there on the right. Yes. Well, actually, no. I actually don't think all 4 fiends are going to be trials in the traditional sense. I feel like they're going to throw a wrench in there somewhere. I always just... One's world map is so very generic that remembering all the locations... It's true of a lot of the old ones for me. The exact locations always slip my mind. I don't think there's going to be a duty one at all. I think it's just going to be, if anything, a dungeon one, but not a duty one. No, that's not going to happen, Tuck. There's not going to be a 0.3 MSQ trial. I think Scarmiglione's going to be the boss of Troya. And then Cagnazzo will be the trial one. I think that's why they don't want to tell us it's Cagnazzo. That's not because not because it won't be, but because they know that if they say it's Cagnazzo, that we'll probably figure out Troya's boss. Now, Barbaricious is going to be full of wind. Just blowing hot air. I mean, it'll be one of the 4 fiends, Tuck. So, Troya. Is this where it is? I think the ice cave is... Hold on, let me... Friton! Hey, listen, that would be good flavor. That would be pretty substantial flavor. Yeah, I think it's through here. Because I need the levistone, and I know where the levistone goes to get the airship. And then once I have the airship, I can do the job advancements. Which way is it? I hate navigating this little section right here. Oh, not to mention these things being here. Oh, right. She needs to be heal staffing. That's very important at this point. Yes, I do, Kira. I mean, they already told us as much. Ooh, White Croc, I think, does a lot of damage. No, because this is a completely different type of content, really. There we go. That's what I'm here for. The heal staff. Heal staff is such a freaking life save over the course of the game. Also, this was not the correct spot to land. Ow! Doesn't quite settle all the issues when damage like that goes out, but it certainly helps. Especially if you get a few weak fights in a row, or that. There it is. That's the ice cave. I mean, if it's an extreme trial, it won't be that tough. I can tell you that right now. It won't be. Some are tougher than others, but you know, nothing too groundbreaking. Oh, the Neochu. That's the rare spawn. Or it can run. Freaking Neochu. Yeah, the PF does all the work when it comes to making things more difficult. The developers don't have to. It's always weird to me that this is they use Matoyas here. All right, now for the fun thing. Any freaking imps we run into in here are always a trouble. Lots of quick saving. It's the Wild Wild West. When I roll into the Wild Wild West. It's the party finder. It's the Wild Wild West. Yeah, there are those instant kill mind flayers here too. They're in the Citadel of Trials, and I think they are also here. The imps are the big problem though, because they'll... Yeah, here's the Pisco demons. I think these are the paralysis ones. These aren't the mind flayers. The mind flayers are in the trials. They're in the Citadel of Trials. These ones are still the paralysis ones. But they can paralysis your whole team to death if you're not careful. Especially in the older versions. In Pixel Remaster, it really doesn't happen very often. But it can. Just doesn't very often. Alright, here we go. These are the instant kill ones. These ones can kill you in a single hit. Just get that rub proc, so we gotta kill them quick. What's going on, Rekion? Thank you. These the Wraiths paralyze on hit here as well. Want those dead, with hopefully no procs. We're able to auto through a lot more fights without attempting to flee now that we have that heal staff, though. There's a paralysis on hit from the Wraith. That's so nice. I love heal staff. I heckin' love heal staff. I'm hydrating. I'm gonna need a stand up and stretch redemption too for tomorrow. Definitely want to get that underway. A stretcheroo. Ice Gigas, that's not a problem. It's crazy how a 40-point heal frickin' ran. How a 40-point heal can be so useful. I'm hoping they still release it on consoles. I specifically want PlayStation because I like achievements. No, it's not really. It doesn't really matter for most, but I like it. Yeah. Dark Wizard. Okay, these are the ones that can be problematic. We're actually going to heal Ra here. Slowra is okay. We don't mind getting debuffed or auto attack. It's that we don't want. That's why I precasted the heal Ra. Luckily, I can do it right back to them. I don't remember if this one's more Dark Wizards. This one's tempting to just run from because I will run out of spellcast sooner or later against them. Ooh, that's not good. I forgot they could do that, not gonna lie. 3 Scourges, huh? Alright, well we managed to get the kill, so that's fine. Yeah, remember when I said that these dudes can be a problem? That's a big reason why. A flame sword, which you can't use, unfortunately. Why you gotta level me down? This is by far a Firaga case. Oh, don't paralyze the Black Mage, please. Let the Black Mage go. Please let the Black Mage go. Holy moly, thank you. Yeah, once I get some job advancements, I'll have more options, but I can't get that until I have the airship. Oh, which rooms have treasure chests? Okay, most of the treasure chests are down there. Then we have a few across the spikes. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, wow. I think Remaraz is the rare encounter in here. You can. The game doesn't very specifically point you towards advancing your jobs. It's something you just kind of find. Ooh, that does a lot of damage. I was gonna say, if it's double Ice Storm, that could be a problem. Go back to Heal Staff every turn. That's very fortunate. I was kind of hoping that she would go first with the Heal Staff there. Ice Armor. Don't think I can equip that to anyone. No. I'm gonna say nobody should be able to wear that. Mithril Gloves also can't wear that. And then I go right and then all the way down. Should have a lot of random. Oh, God. That's a lot of blood bones. For you, you need to just use the heal staff while everyone else tries to flee. I mean, the job advancements, especially in the original Final Fantasy 1, are not all that crazy. The further versions, they made them a little bit more desirable. But the very original Final Fantasy 1, even Final Fantasy 3 suffers even more in the very, very original. They just don't make too many changes. They're better, but they're... Well, I mean, in the original Final Fantasy 1, I think Black Belt is considered worse than Monk. And Ninja's considered largely unimpressive. Ugh. Oh, this is a preemptive. This is a really good preemptive. Holy shit. They're like the best preemptive I could have gotten. We could do Fyra here. I think that'll be enough. Hello, Sky. Yeah, a lot of the old ones are pretty busted. Ice Storm's not too much damage. There's 7 of them, so it is a little bit if they all do it, but... It's a lot of Ice Storms. Yeah, the magic classes get pretty outclassed late in the game, but they're good for situations like this. No problem, Sky. I hope whatever you're leaving the house for is fun. No, in Final Fantasy 1, melee fighters really do dominate. I mean, Black Mage's most useful thing is haste and temper late in the game. Like, yeah, of course, having the high grade magic when you upgrade the job is still good. But comparatively to the output you're going to get from a melee, especially in the late game bosses and their huge health pools, You almost just exclusively want to be a haste temper bot. I keep meaning to just do this. Ow! That's why Black Mage kind of works okay because of haste and temper. It lets you become a melee buffer in the late game in Final Fantasy 1. I am also here a few levels earlier than the game expects you to be here. They really don't expect you to come here until after Mount Gulg. But there's no reason to not come here before Mount Gulg. If you've played the game before and you know, then you know to come here first. It's something that you're just most likely going to do. This is the regular Piscos. Can we spread that out a little bit, please? Yeah, most of the stats didn't even work. There's a few things that didn't work stat-wise in the original. Int is a big one, yeah. Thank goodness she got her turn first. That means an extra heal. Yeah, just need the levistone. Levistone and the Citadel. That's not too bad. Okay. Honestly, it's, for me, getting the early heal staff is the biggest thing. Going through Mount Gulg without the heal staff is a much worse experience. It is not. Is this... Yeah, no, this is the safe one. That other stairway sends you outside. Ooh. Okay, well, the other one fled, so never mind. I was gonna say, double ice storm on that random encounter would have been tough. This should be the levistone. Yep. 1, 2. Oh, I forgot about the evil eye. Healing Staff just, if you use it as an item, it does heal 1 as a spell. But it doesn't use any spell slots. So it doesn't use any spell slots. It doesn't cost you any spell slots. So it's infinite sustain. And it's just not, it's not a big heal, but for the sake of just running through a dungeon and getting through it, it is certainly one of the more potent ways to doing it. Yeah, Healing Helm does that as well. Heal Staff, Healing Helm, late game. Damn it. I hate that they make me fight this. So yeah, that's me just using the healing helm. Let's do that. No, I don't think it's... So in some of the later games, that's the case. Healing rods, especially in Final Fantasy V, do that. But in this, I'm pretty sure it's only using the item actually triggers a heal of any kind. I'm not gonna, it's one of those items that I just know to use, so I don't even really think about it much. Yeah, I could just kill these things old-fashioned. That at least out heals one ice storm. Oh, that was nice. Oh, I love when she gets 2 turns in a row. Now we can take the exit. Ow. 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 She just keeps flipping them off. Alright. Now with the levistone, we can go get the airship. They sure did, Chiza. It's already 3:30. Today went by really quick. I gotta make a quick video this evening. I got a couple of video ideas. I'll definitely also need another good thing with the way that I'm doing the marathon instead of doing it forever, like every single day in a row, is it means that I can clear days to work on videos if I really need to. And I think Monday almost certainly, because I think we want to do Rise on Monday. So I think we'll do count up for both days of the weekend this weekend. Oh my god! What is okay. Ow! Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of damage. Well, actually, I don't have any heal riz. That's a frightening encounter.
It's huge!
Oh, stop! Holy shit, you got murdered. Stop. Stop. That was a hell of an encounter. 2 HP. Yeah, and 6 points. I mean, there's so many things happening in the next month. The way that I feel a lot better doing it this way. It also means that there's not like a whole lot of pressure on people to feel like they have to like rush objectives for the count up. It is meant to be a long form objective. It's not meant to like crank people, like subs out of people. Despite what people did today. It's not intended for that. It's intended that people feel like they can be a part of it long term. And not, hey, better get this in before it happens. I mean, we're almost at Final Fantasy 3 3D. We already have a second run of Final Fantasy 1 guaranteed. And I am okay with being bribed to do the other 4 job runs for Final Fantasy 1. Only if somebody wanted me to, but I would be amenable to bribery. Levistone. So I know I have to go down there. I think I just have to go through Crescent Lake and just go all the way south. I'll do this. I'm listening. Final Fantasy 1 is literally just all job setups. Like there's 6 different all runs. There's all warrior, all white mage, all black mage, all red mage. It's just stacking all one job, and each playthrough is pretty different depending on what you do. Some are harder than others. 4 white mages, the one that I promised, arguably the hardest one. There are some things that make it not so bad, but you need it's a really, really rough early and late game. The mid game actually kind of tapers out, but you need Thor's hammer, you need the mithril hammer early, you need the Thor's hammer, and then you just need damage. You also can only really fight undead through the early spots. So, like, for any sort of leveling needs, some of the best power leveling related stuff are not undead. because there's not that there's not a lot of undead, but a lot of the most threatening things and the things you would farm are not undead. So it culminates into a really, really difficult time. Once you have the heal staff and Thor's hammer, it gets a lot easier. But beating the final boss is an endeavor because he hits so freaking hard. The good news is you can have one white mage do Protera, one do Invisera, and then you can rotate between your spellcast usages for healing while you DPS with the others. Although you're Thor's hammer user, you generally don't want to have to do that. Yeah, and then once you get to the late game, you have Holy, but it's still kind of a struggle. It's better, but it takes so long to get to the point where Holy is your replacement for everything. I will say this, in Dawn of Souls, it's much easier because you have an MP system and not a spell slot system. But this version has ethers, so you can really draw it out. You just need 99 ethers pretty much the whole game. It also can depend on your level ups. If your level ups are really bad, it can get really bad. Ow. Wait, why did I not? We'll be getting our job advancements here shortly, thankfully. And that makes a significant portion of the game easier. This is the levistone. Grape. Doom. Grape. But like Tylenol grape. So not very good. You obtain an airship. Cool. Alright, now we... Actually, it's faster to go this way. I forget which one it is. I think it's this one. Definitely not this one, but this one has items, so it's fine. We have to check the ones for items regardless, because there's 13 chests across all of them. Alright, this is the useless one. The Pixel Remaster tracks are so very good. Oops. 2000 Gil. So many gills. Gonna make a Jill sandwich. Another good reason why it's pertinent to come here early. Are there any others I missed? I need 3 more. Okay. Why are you laughing? What's so funny? All right, here's our job advancements. No laughing. Serious only. Hello, Bahamut.
Long has it been since men of courage stood before me. Your bravery seems worthy of consideration. The rat's tail you carry is a fitting token of courage and strength. So be it. I shall honor you with titles befitting your valor.
We're better now. We got the Jesus Mage. What? No, I leveled up. That's bullshit.
It's huge!
It sure is. I'm sure there's a history for the rat's tail.
What am I fighting for?
I don't know. No, that's the second run, Twilight. Okay, the last 3 chests are to the south. Where are the last 3 chests? Oh, there are razzmatazes here. They're not called razzmatazes. Oh, am I covering? Oh, I'm covering one. That's why. I couldn't see it through the cursor. Yeah, we've earned the 4 white mage run. And plenty people have had plenty other requests as well. I'm sure we'll have to make good on quite a few of them. All right, let's actually take this opportunity. I think I still have to canoe there, but I'm gonna stop in Cornelia real quick. I have to stop and grab spells for Ninja. And I can buy some more spells for them. Okay. The animation. Well, he doesn't really need any tier 1 spells. It doesn't hurt to have, but they're very not important. Look at the animation. It's like, me! Yeah, black belt's a heck of a time. I think I can also... Well, now that I have the heal staff, I guess technically I don't need to do that. Yeah, he's doing some ballot. Gonna call it ballot. I do want to pick up some items. We have so much money. It's gonna go pretty quick, but at the same time, I don't think it'll go that quick. Yeah, buy 99 remedies. It'll go very quick. Yeah, we got to take a stop at a few of the shops. We need to check out Provoca. I think Provoca has Temper. We also need the level 6 spells that we skipped in Crescent. Well, I don't need those, but I should check to see which... I think I wanted the black magic tier 6, or the white magic tier 6, sorry. Yeah, Temper is the big one that we want to pick up. The idea is to be able to temper and haste on one turn. And technically this doesn't hurt, but Ninja having Temper is definitely important. I don't know if they can. I feel like, yeah, they can use tier 4, I'm pretty sure. I think 4 is the last tier they can pick up. It might be 3 that's the last tier, but I think that's also later that they can pick up 4. I don't think I would have any charges for that yet. Well, until I sleep at the inn, I guess I don't know what charges I can have. Yeah, I've never done free enterprise. Ninja goes to 4. Yeah, I knew one of them went to 3, but I couldn't remember which. Instead of ninjutsu, you just pick up spells. They're like, that's good enough, right? Yeah, there you go. Haste. Helps a lot. Alright, no more spells for ninja. That's all caught up. And then let's head to Crescent Island. Yeah. Oh, no, you can actually land next to Mount Gulg. Okay, good. For some reason, I just always take the canoe, even though I almost always get the rat's tail before. Okay, what were the tier 6 spells? Thundaga, have that. Death. Quake. If you're gonna get death, you're better off just getting Quake. Stun's not the worst, but I think it was the white magic spells that I care about most. Exit. Definitely grabbing Exit and Stona. The last one's always a bit tough. Evasion is a little less reliable, but, I mean, they're both physical defenses. And now it's Gulg time. Yeah, see, I'm not even a high enough level to have charges on Ninja yet, period. What's going on, Gref? Welcome back. Yeah, where's Vothri? And now the big thing is with our job advancements, our level ups are a lot more worth it. That's the big thing that you get out of the job advancements. The sooner you get them, the better your level ups are. I mean, I just spam heal staff anyway, but that's a big reason why going to the Citadel of Trials early pays dividends here for the magma damage. It pays dividends quick no matter what, but it pays the special dividends before Mount Gulg because of unavoidable tile damage. It's either that or you have to potion a bunch through it, and it sucks. Not to mention just the sheer power. In this version, Black Belt / Master is very strong. Also, I think my ninja has something else it can do too. I gotta check. Might have more equipment options. It's a little more than that, because in the original Final Fantasy 1, there's actually some issues with some of the things that you can get here. They're not as good as you would hope. Yeah, see, now we can get Mithril Helm and Ice Armor and stuff. So we can start tanking evasion to make... So because we picked up so many health increases early, I can actually take advantage of that now and just tank my evasion, which evasion, not super great in the Pixel Remaster anyway. Kowalski, thanks for the 82 months. And now we have all those HP rolls that we got early are way more worth it now. Way more worth it. Lets me actually have a full-blown tank ninja. Thank you, Kowalski, for the 82. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. Now, if I recall, just making sure. Yeah, these Ankegs, I think, are still worth running from unless you're manually killing them. I guess it depends. If I land enough hits with the ninja, it's not too bad. They're just a little tanky. 7 hits, I think, is the minimum for my ninja. I think any 6 hitters are gonna live. Ooh, I got an intellect increase too. That heal staff is gonna pay so many dividends. It's so good. You know what really speeds this up versus the 100% run? Because Final Fantasy 100%ing is actually a super quick endeavor. It's getting the bestiary entries. That's the worst part. Oh, these guys suck. And so because I don't need to sit and grind like Iron Golem eventually later. Warmech, yeah. Although Warmech, let's be honest, Warmech more often shows up when he's not welcome than doesn't show up when you're looking. I think the last time I played, though, it took me like 40 minutes to find Warmech. He actually did take a while. When I played when this came out. When Pixel Remaster 1 came out. I was very shocked, because normally I find Warmech by accident on the bridge. It's a nice... my white mage health has been so good. Not to mention the... I just had to make sure I couldn't actually use that. Not to mention the intellect increases for when I get Holy later. Pretty sure that's a stat mod on Holy. Yeah, I've also gotten most of the rare encounters just kind of as I've been playing through. I haven't really had to sit around and wait for them. Neo Chew took me a while, I remember, and I ran into a couple of those. Yeah, channel point bet. Will Warmech find me, or will I find Warmech? Which will happen first? I think 3 is the most improved Pixel Remaster, but 6 is my favorite Final Fantasy, so it's obviously also my favorite Pixel Remaster. Yeah, those bonus dungeons are kind of bullshit in Dawn of Souls. Especially when you unlock them and you just like go, ooh, let me check it out, and then you just get destroyed. We have Stona. I would still prefer to not get petrified, however. Thank you. Alright, you need to go twice in a row. The ninja... the ninja stance cracks me up every time. Monsters! No, these are like the vanilla games. Yeah, that sounds about right for Chaos. Chaos already not a super hard boss by any stretch of the imagination, so in Dawn of Souls you end up just kind of destroying him. That happens with a lot of the either remastered or the re-releases that happened in like the 2000s, late 2010s. Even just the like international releases and stuff like that. It's just the way the bosses are structured. The final boss is always a joke strictly because of how much freedom you have to get to them. You're just like, oh, let me go do all this side content first. These HP increases are looking dope. What are you? 2 fire elementals. Alright, there's a few monster encounters in here. Mithril gloves, mithril helm, monsters! Monsters! These lava worms are gonna get obliterated. My ninja was already doing good. Monsters. Ambushed. Ow. Goodbye. Ugh, that HP increases. And strength increase of all things. God, I forgot how many chests there are in the fire in Mount Gulg. It's called the Fire Cavern. Yeah, the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster opera scene is pinnacle of the remasters. That singular scene. Even if abusing Death's Joker was a little bit more of a pain. Wow, that was a really weak attack. Even with my caffeine lasting me throughout the day, around now I usually get a little more tired. You guys have that like a time of day where you're just more tired, but once you get over it, you're completely back to normal? That's for me, that's this time of day. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. is normal for me, but after my last like kind of early wake up, it changed. It got later in the day though. It should have gotten earlier. Yeah, it's not even caffeine related, because even if I have barely any caffeine or a ton of caffeine, it's just the same time of day. Then you get over it part. When they get older, you will though. Yeah, this is my time of day for me. So if I seem like I'm tired, I'm yawning, or I'm losing a bit of focus, don't worry. I do this. I deal with this every single day. This has just been a thing for me since I was like 16. Oh, I have a new static. We raided together. I keep meaning to message Rin back because he DM'd me something last night. I was so tired I just never responded. There we go. Yeah. Got a new group. Rin put it together. Rin had mentioned it around the time my previous group disbanded. And, but he still wasn't 100% sure that's what was going to happen. But then he, we finalized. Rin, Todd, Shen, Sand. Rin and Sand have been doing tiers together for quite some time. Yeah, I was going to stream last night, but I was so tired. I just wanted to focus. And I haven't done P4S in so long. I wanted to be paying attention. First time being with the static. I didn't want to be streamer brain. I'll say I wanted to save streamer brain for once I got back into the rhythm of things. I have to remember if this layout has anything other than the path forward. Okay. Yeah, I mean, still is ranged. If, like, Dancer or Machinist ends up being the better choice, I'll go those instead. When he just... Oh, that's not good. That's an instant kill. We are going to do that. Of all the people for it to instant kill, it had to instant kill my healer. We have 99 Phoenix downs, thankfully. And I'll take this opportunity to do that. Dude, DSR was brutal on so many statics. That's why earlier on Mog Talk, when talking about how great it was to have this, I was like, man, let me tell you, it was not great for a lot of people. Still isn't. Yeah, Rich has got a lot of exciting things going on. He's not really worried particularly about 14 in specific. He's been making a lot of moves. I'm sure there will come a time, however. I always say Ultimate weeds out the people who like raiding versus the people who want to raid. Because there are people who like it, but they don't like want to do it all the time. Or they they don't like it enough that they want it to dominate like a large portion of their day. I like to say that I like raiding, but I want to clear, because I'm definitely less excited about re-clears or re-prog or anything like that. Like I don't want to hop around data centers and like look for a bunch of stuff or join like 3 groups simultaneously or what a bunch of other people. I don't want to do any of that. I don't mind helping out once in a while, but like making that many like 14 related commitments is not for me. Especially given the volatility of different groups. That can be a lot of stress. It sure is a tough first one. And say that again. Dude, it's tough even if it ain't your first one. I'll be real. It don't matter if it's your first. This shit tough regardless, okay? I forgot. Is this... What is Gauntlets cast again? Thundara, okay. Gauntlet's good for AoEing. I knew Gauntlets casted something, I just couldn't remember what. I mean, Ultima is always going to be the easiest one to start with. Forever and always. Even, I don't think they'll ever make one easier than Ultima for a first-time Ultimate. I think Ukab is easier to prog than T is, personally. I think most groups, if you get over the first 2 phases of T, the prog speeds up. Because the last 6 minutes of T are infinitely easier than most of the other stuff. But the very beginning of T and Wormhole can be big problems. But once you get past BJCC, T speeds up so much. It really does. Yeah, we did Uwu with Jesse in like 6 hours, and I think Rich was a little bit less than that. Rich's disappointment with Uwu after doing Ukab is one of the sole reasons he wanted us to do T. I was like, that wasn't enough. That wasn't good enough. Now I have to do T. I think the bottom left one is the crystal. They are pretty optimized, especially because you can tank LB3. Ukab now also is so much easier. With all the new gear and everything. Nah, you're just going current gear. All that stuff synced down is too good. I think healers want to go appropriate if they can. It's not too pertinent, but it's certainly an improvement. Just so they can control their melds. The big thing for healers is controlling the meld. Tanks too, if they want direct hit melds. Warrior doesn't have to worry so much. They can just run modern crit stuff. Stop doing that. Stop. Yeah, finally my monk has the most HP in the party. Alright, while I'm in this room, there's one chest there, nothing in the south room. So east, southeast, west, and then southwest. Okay. I don't know which of the 6 starting jobs I'll be. Because people are going to have the ability to force me to change jobs after I get to 30. So what I actually end up completing everything on could be vastly different. Do you plan to do a... Well, yeah, I mean, I have to do a sub job. Yeah, that's not odd. The idea is generally you start as a job that's going to be your sub job, and then the second job you level is your main job. That's usually the smartest way to do it. So, like, if you want to play monk, you start as warrior, get to 30, and then swap to monk. I mean, you can get all the way to 46 or 45 if you really... I'm sorry, 49 if you really want to. We got there eventually. It has all the 11 related stuff is in the dock. I have a feeling we'll end up doing it all though. And I also had the real question is if I want to make that character on Asura or not. If I make it on Asura, I can send stuff from my main to my alt, so I don't have to worry about gearing all that much. But it also means being on Asura with another character, and that's an unpleasant experience. Yeah, Xylart and COP are the baselines. Those are easy to get done. You beat 99 and have to have those done in no time. Puppet Master would be tough to get to have to do the whole thing as because of the parts. The parts are still a that's the big thing that would make me want to be on Asura is I have 180 million gil or something on Asura. So even though you can't send parts, I can still afford them. It also means more orbs. Hello, Fire Lizard. Alright, Mount Gulg will be done shortly. Hello, Red Dragon. Ow! That's a lot of damage. You're also dead. Yeah, well, I mean, you're nigh unkillable to fire now. Yo, so I'm really bad at keeping up with shows, but I have caught up on a show, and I'm excited because in 2 days it starts to unfold again. I think that should be a pretty clear hint as to what show it is, and I'm excited. Two more days, and our good old buddy Saul Goodman is making his return for the second half of the last season. So you are the ones who defeated the Fiend of Earth and roused Marilith from her slumber. Did you just refer to yourself in the third person, Marilith? The power of burning flame is mine and mine alone. Those who oppose me shall burn in hellfire. Excuse me. That's Ifrit's job. That's not too bad. She is gonna get smacked up so hard. think she's dead next turn. Not this turn. I think next turn. It depends, I think. If I get the haste now, she might be... Oh, she might be dead. She might be outright dead. Getting the haste before his turn is a big turn win. No, okay, she got one more. There you go. Yeah. It was pretty close. I was only off by like 100 damage. I think if I had landed one more hit, it probably would have done the trick. The fire crystal. I'm doing good today. It's been a good start to count up. Even though I told everyone to chill and not go too ham today, people didn't stop. Hey, it's not my job to tell them to stop. This is going to be a long event. Not to mention that Little did actually tip for something not count up related. He gifted subs for a Sunday to play Trails. And because it's Little and I kind of owe him for it, I kind of want to play it more than once. Because I tried to do Trails in the Sky first chapter a long time ago, and it was so slow. Like, it was a fine game, but it was such a slow game. Dragon Quest XI, 100% worth playing. Dragon Quest XI S is one of the fullest RPG experiences you could possibly have. I sincerely mean that. If you are looking for the most tried and true, yes, it is a long 100%. It's not quite as long as P5, like Persona 5, like one playthrough of P5, but you're easily looking at 100 hours for DQ 11 S. When I say it's one of the fullest RPG experiences you could possibly get, I mean it. Your HP levels are random when you level up. You don't always get good HP rolls. No, I think I tried playing... No, I tried playing Symphonia when I was young. I never finished Tales of Arise either, and Tales of Arise was actually good. Do I have to take the boat to this one, or do I just have to land up here? Yeah, this is the super long walk. Yeah, so we gotta land there and go all the way around. Let's see. Let's stop here first. I didn't even stop playing Arise because I didn't like it. I just... The timing... I can't remember what was happening around then, but I just remember I got busy with other things. The only thing I didn't like about Arise was the campfire stuff. The short little cutscenes, because they would stack like 7 of them. Oh, that might be it, actually, yeah. Yeah, they would stack like 7 cutscenes, like back to back to back, and I was like, oh my god, stop. Tamasic, please stop. Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with Dragon Quest XI. You really like. Don't get me wrong. There's a chance you just don't like it as a game. Like it's not like it's a perfect game, but it's certainly for a classic RPG fan. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine somebody not liking it. The original release had some issues. I'll give you that, at the very least. Remember all that money that I had? Remember? I don't. Shit's all gone. Yeah, we're not going to be using any of this. Probably not going to use any of these now that we're past that part of the game. Mithril Hammer we still have. Yeah, we're done with the Mithril Hammer because we have healing staff. So yeah, we can sell that too. It's a weird, weird thing that you can do this, but for now we're gonna do it just for the attack. My money's all gone! Woohoo! And I actually still have more spells to buy, too. We'll get more money soon. We're gonna be coming across a lot more gil. Yeah, because we're gonna get Holy, and we're gonna need, Actually, Holy's really the only one we need. We don't need Kill, Stop, or Warp. So it's Holy and maybe the Null spell, but Null All. Yeah. So we'll need about 60,000 gil. And that's like the rest of our gil budget for the game. Other than items. Which, I think these are all the standard items. Yeah. Yeah, when we get closer to Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm definitely, definitely playing that. Yeah, we gotta go find that caravan. And then this is the church. And then we have to bring her back and release her here. Not quite to that point yet, but we'll have to come back here. I think this is where I want to go next. Down to here. Yeah, that's a hell of a walk, but I think that's where I need to go next. I don't think there's a secret landing spot. A cheese landing spot. Dude, well, I can't wait to do... Because there's a trick in Final Fantasy VII where you can get to a certain materia a lot earlier. Because you can clip the airship into landing you in a spot you're not supposed to land. It's kind of nice. No, you can't get Knights of the Round that early. It's not anything major. I think it's a double cast. Might be... No, it's not double magic. What is it? We had this discussion the other week. You can land, you can get to a cave. I think it's the cave with the bombs. The boss is like a bunch of bombs. That might be double cast. I think it might be the W magic spell or W magic materia. Alright, I don't think there's anything for us here yet. Yeah, we need the stone. Alright, so I'll come back here a little bit later. Fortunately, we're going to wash all the enemies from this point on. Well, outside of the status effect ones. I mean, Final Fantasy 1's at least a solid experience all the way through. At the very worst, it's just standard, bog standard. You know, late 80s, early 90s RPG. Standard-wise. It's hard to really go wrong with it. Nice. Alright, we have the desert. Don't remember if we can do this yet. He's so happy. He's dead. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. He's dead. I tried to run. Good call. Let's see. Yeah, I think you can canoe to this. Yeah, there's no cheese spots to land. I think this right over here is the closest spot. And you cross over with the canoe. Yeah, it's something like that. I always forget the mid to late game of a lot of the old Final Fantasies. I have to just run. I have to just treat it like I haven't played it before and just fly around. It depends on the game. I can tell you right now that if they like Pixel remasters, I already have 100%ed. There's no, like, even if I were to screw up 100%, there'd be no way of me knowing because I already have 100% of them. But I can tell you this right now, if while I'm in the middle of count up, they surprise announce, hey, Pixel remasters are out on PlayStation. We're 100%ing them. We're going back. We're doing it again. Yeah, Null Def and Hilaga. I do need Hilaga also. 2, 3, 3D, and 9 are the only ones I would actively not look forward to doing. Saber also, yeah. 3 Pixel Remaster is fortunately good. It's not even not bad. It's good. Can't remember if there's anything else I'm supposed to do in on-rack. Wait, what did those guys say? That Underhill fella from the caravan had something very weird for sale. Now there are mermaids living there. Yeah, I need Oxale. That's what it is. I need the caravan. I can tell you right now, I'm contemplating for 10-2 doing what I call an AFK leveling stream, where I set up well, not a bot. I just have to set up an auto clicker to level me to max level before I even do the first boss. Because, oh boy, do I not want to play that, and oh boy, do I know you're going to make me. So, I've accepted that fact. Let me fly around real quick. Yeah, because with the speed up on top of that, it should be very quick. I'm most looking forward to replaying 10 and 12. I've been itching. Honestly, I held off replaying them. I was going to replay them months ago. But because of... I knew count up was going to happen at some point. I was like, do I really want to replay them and then replay them for count up as well? Like, yes, kind of, but... It seemed like it wasn't the wisest decision. Yeah, Zodiac Age is not just... For me, it's not even just good. It's in my top 3. The caravan here? Oh no, it's in the desert. Yeah, Zodiac Age is very good. Even 12 story I'm mostly okay with. Like, yeah, Vaughn's useless, but there is a story happening around the not Vaughn characters. So I was right, I was here. It's 40,000. Can I afford that if I sell something? I don't really need gauntlets anymore. It's not bad to have for the Thundaras, but... Oh no, I need to go back to the other town, don't I? Yeah. Is there I can't remember. Is there something over there? No, if there was, it would show. Okay. Yeah, now I need to go back to the other town where I said we're at the little lake. The guy's like, I sold it. I sold that little ferry. Yeah, when I did New Game Minus for Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age, I was so good. I have New Game Minus on the goal list. And you don't even have to do trial mode for it anymore. I had to be trial mode to do New Game Minus the first time. Now I can just go right into New Game Minus if I really wanted to. I might go into trial mode also just to... If you go into trial mode, you can pick up some items. If you do it really early. But you do have to get to the 10th floor for that to really be useful. And I don't know if I want to do that. Type exclamation mark NG minus, I think, has the quick command for it. It's not it's a very simple explanation, but I just want to make sure that command still works. Because I'll need the command anyway later. So consider this me testing it. There you go. It does work. Okay, good. Yeah, it's essentially a no level up playthrough, but it's built into the game. I never finished everything in New Game Minus, but I did beat the game and some of the optional content in New Game Minus. Well, I mean, in Final Fantasy 12, New Game Minus is built into the game. And in Final Fantasy 12, enemies keep leveling up. They do not stay weak. Give me the Oxyale. Hey, I like Caius. Yeah, Final Fantasy 12. I will say this, in New Game Minus, getting good guns is definitely the way to make it the easiest. Reverse strats and guns for damage. Though you do get some pretty decent equipment and stuff to help you out fairly early on. But guns, yeah, guns are very, very good. Bad trance. Bad. Balthier, unironically, well, I guess not unironically, but ironically, is the worst gun user in Final Fantasy 12. All the power gain were in a minute. I mean, not all the power gains in Triple Triad. That's just a good shortcut to get to it. I think I need to... I just love having legs. Is it over here? Hello, cop. I do have Oxyale. New Game Minus is so good. I had to try to abuse stealing a lot to get really, like, I had to like sacrifice my character like so many times. Like, just game over just to try to get a good steal. Sure was, Erasus. It was the most efficient for almost everything, but you could also get strong just by leveling. Big thing about the draw system in 8 is that enemies got stronger when you leveled, which also subsequently let you draw stronger spells from them. So it was designed with the idea of while the game gets harder, you're given more tools to get stronger. Not a great system when you also have Triple Triad in there, letting you basically skip all of that. The big one is getting the Gilgamesh and Laguna cards. Those are definitely the two biggest parts of the Triple Triad power. Yeah, the tornadoes early from I think Zell's mom is one of the best people to go up against to get. I think they're Elvaret cards. And you turn those into tornadoes fairly early, and then you just one-shot everything. On top of getting Lionheart in Disc 1, you're basically unkillable. I think the only boss that had a min level, I don't remember bosses having a min level at all. Maybe in one version, because I know that the PC version, there are versions that have different rules for Final Fantasy VIII, like the PC version and the PlayStation 1 version. For example, in the PlayStation 1 version, I think you're right, there are min and max levels. Like, I think Omega Weapon's always level 100 in the PS1 version. Oh yeah, you don't even have to reboot to swap the rules. You just have to talk to the NPC a billion times. I always just talk to them until they stop acknowledging regional rules. They're just like, hey, we should play with these rules. Hey, we should play with these rules. And eventually they just go, hey, you want to just play? And I'm like, yes, please. Yeah, that's true. So what you can do is you can completely... Yeah, so you're talking about completely erasing the rules from the world. Yeah, you can do that too. So that way you never have to even do the talks. Yeah, no, I never bother completely erasing the rules because you can... By talking to an NPC enough times, you can force them to not use the rules anyway. As opposed to completely deleting them. Well, no, Final Fantasy VIII, all the level ups are always only 1k. It's just that the amount of EXP you get scales with the enemy level. And the enemy type. Cell's mom is a scumbag. Excuse me. She is a saint. What's... I can't remember her name, though. I just remember her as Zell's mom. Yeah, as soon as you have cards and you can go to Zell's mom, I just reset until I start winning so I can actually beat her. Well, Diablos obviously helps for a number of reasons, whether it's encounter none or the ability to change things over, but all the same, it's... it just doesn't matter to me. Ma. Mom. 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 Mummy. 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 Ma. 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 Well, I mean, we're nowhere near Warmech yet. I say we're nowhere near. We're not that far from Warmech, actually. I mean, literally, this is the third of the 4 crystals. Yeah, we will actually be there before you know it. Probably not today. But certainly tomorrow. Lunar, thank you for the 14 months. Welcome back. Add to the list here. Pretty bad health gains, but I think that's fine. We got a worm killer out of that, too. Is there any more? Yeah, there's a chest to the west, 2 to the south. Okay, yeah, there's basically 1 in every direction. Hey, I wasn't talking shit. I was just talking about proximity. That's different. We actually have a bunch of spell slots for my ninja, but I need to get to another in rest. Oh, that was unwise. Should have Thundara'd. As soon as I see all of my teammates attack, I'll turn off the auto. Meekly, thank you for the 24 months. Welcome back. Thank you for your Prime sub. No, here we go. And then you do that. Appreciate it, Meekly. Let me add to this. Yeah, so any day that I'm doing this, I know exactly the number of minutes that would be deducted from my normal end time. So I don't really need to count down the bonus time minutes. I'll essentially, at the end of the stream, just do a quick deduction. Because I'm keeping it fairly static, for the most part. Warmech, you mean Omega. Oh, I love seed tests being best pay because I just do them all immediately. I straight up cheat. I go online, I just Google all the fucking answers. Fucking think I'm doing that shit normally? I'm not gonna remember all that. Yeah, I do the same thing in Persona. I just fucking cheat. I just pull up all the answers online. I'm not playing games to be fucking quizzed. Get out of here. Think I bought this game because I wanted trivia? No, I wanted to fucking beat some monsters' asses. You know, I'm here. I know what I'm here for. Okay. Please don't petrify the Black Mage. Thank you. Yeah, screw exams, just pay me. The heck? Yeah, I'm not here to school, I'm here to save the fucking world. Come on now. That sounds like Canada or Australia prices. Off the top of my head. Oh no, the Dark Aeons I actually have always done normally. I only Zanmato Penance. Penance is the only one who really, like, Bahamut kind of deserves it. But Penance 100% deserves it. Penance is one of the worst fights they've ever made in an RPG. By a mile. I'm not gonna lie, the 10-2 secret boss in the international version, well now in the HD version, I don't have to say international, you know, we have HD, you know, all the re-releases and everything. Also one of the worst bosses they've ever made. The giant, the Hydra thing that has like 5 heads or whatever it is, that's also one of the worst. That boss is in a lot of ways very much worse because it can completely ruin you before you get a turn. Well, I mean, 10-2's base game super bosses aren't too bad. Honestly, the what is it, the Purico Magnifico or whatever? I don't even remember what is exactly how it's called. It's not that bad in the vanilla game. It is really the frickin' Hydra thing that I mean, honestly, more than that, there are other super bosses they added in 10-2 when they did international and then eventually HD. But the very last one is atrocious. I've 100%ed 15. Well, that's not true. When they did Windows and Royal Edition, I didn't collect all of the lore collectibles. So that's one achievement I don't have. The only end bosses in 15 that are really good are Omega, and I'd say Omega is really the pinnacle of it. And that they added in Royal Edition. The base game super bosses aren't anything too fancy. Like Adamantoise is mostly just an HP pool. There's a couple of like 120 level bosses as well that aren't too bad, but I mean they're definitely not great. But Omega is pretty good. Omega has some cheese, but if you've been playing all of 15, the cheese for Omega is very not obvious. Like, you can figure out his weakness, but the actual cheese to make him super easy is not incredibly obvious. What most people's first instinct on Omega in 15 is the worst instinct, because it actually enrages him. Hilariously enough, it is not the right thing to do. Yeah, 10-2's there as an incentive. And these are long-time goals. But also remember, subs for count up only count during count up. If I take a day to do Monster Hunter Rise, for example, on Monday, it won't count. Unless somebody makes a huge mistake, I might make an exception. Like if somebody comes in on that day, thinks it's for count up, but it's like a huge amount, I'm not gonna dick them and be like, no, sorry, you screwed it up. But at the same time, I for general kind of just streamage. Yeah, like a little earlier, like I made good on that because it wasn't 100% clear, and it was a significant number of subs. I'm not gonna dick anyone over just because they didn't 100% follow the rules, but I like anyone like randomly doing like 5 or maybe 10. It's like I'm gonna be like, yeah, we're not in the middle of count, and none of this like display, none of the like bonus time or event subs, none of that's gonna be on display anyway. But I think, for me, this is honestly, I think subathons are a super unhealthy thing to do. Not just like from an actual health perspective, but from, I mean, yeah, that too. But just as like a streaming thing, it's such a not good way to maintain like a healthy relationship with what you expect. It's a good way to infuse money into the stream, and sometimes people need that. Sometimes people have like bills coming up, or they're maybe not doing so hot and they want to... They need to build something up. I mean, I've done that before. But this is more like when the marathon is active, there are goals and set things that we can achieve. But if I'm having a bad mental health day, or there's just another game that's like really on my mind that I want to play, I don't feel locked down or tied to do exactly what this is laid out to be. Yeah, when you get tired, stream quality goes down. So like if there's a day when like I'm doing count up, but I really can't like bring myself to do the bonus time because I have like an obligation or I'm just exhausted, that I don't feel, because it's not like it's disappearing into the void. Yeah, and this isn't meant to bait people into splurging on subs. That's why I said, yes, there are goals that we can achieve that lead to bonus things, but they don't have to happen unless it is specifically stated that it needs to happen while playing a game. It's not designed that way. You humans do impress. I would not have thought to see you here.
But do you really think you can defeat the fiend of water here in my own domain? Fools! These dark depths will be your tomb.
Void. Shadow, thank you for the 8 months. Let me do this before I forget. Now, hopefully this encounter goes... There's one way this encounter normally goes, and it is haste, temper, kill. All of the fiends, except for the rematched fiends, don't always go that way, especially rematched Lich, because he hits so hard. And because my ninja doesn't actually have haste or temper, there's an extra turn in here. We basically are just gonna heal Ra and hope that it works out. Okay, that's good. Ooh, that's not good. Never mind. That's what we hope doesn't happen. Now we do have life. We're hoping, yeah, we were hoping to not get life. Now that's kind of unfortunate, but that really slows the kill down more than anything. And it's a big reason why I usually want magic on my ninja here. Oh. Because he hits really hard, so... You either want Invisra or slow or anything to reduce his number of hits. I kind of want to burn the elixir just in case he does it, but then if he does it too early, it's going to be kind of screwed. Okay, that's fine. That's a good turn. Alright, he should be dead next turn as long as my monk doesn't die. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the glasses are like off to the side. They don't fit on the head properly. On the ninja. Big Squid done learned his lesson. This is the water crystal. We're already at 3 out of the 4 crystals. And that's with me taking like 3 hours out of the stream to not even play today. Final Fantasy 1 is a very quick game. It's not a long game. It can be long, depending on what you're trying to do, but you can reasonably do everything in the game pretty quickly. Now for the wind. Ugh. Human kings have been honored by dragon. I hope he comes home soon. I think we can do this. No, because I have to beat Final Fantasy 1 a second time because of the incentive being met. Yeah, I gotta go get the cube. Gotta go get the cubby. Oh, White Wizard counts. I can advance him to White Wizard. I need to for Holy in all reality. Without Holy, not a good time. You suffer enough early, you don't need to suffer anymore in the late game. Holy is far too good. How much money do I have? 140,000? Speaking of which, I need to go get Holy. I love these guys. These guys are the anime. The sprite for the clay golems is so stupid. Looks like they're doing a dance move. Now, if I recall, doesn't this... Is that just temper? I think that's temper. No, it's saber. Well, that's better. In terms of self-buffing. Nice. Yeah, he looks like he's having a good time. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, because he can't do that for himself, but he can do that for himself. My ninja can do it for himself, but my monk can't. My monk needs help pretty much the whole time. I guess I could have just done that. Yeah, see, we struggled early. The very beginning of Final Fantasy 1 is fairly difficult. It's a lot of things stacked against you until you get later into the game. Except in Dawn of Souls and 20th Anniversary. Early game's pretty easy in those games. But that they also have the bonus dungeons, so... look at my health pools. If I run into Warbeck, I'm very dead. Very, so very dead. What level am I? 35? Yeah, I mean, you kind of want to be close to 50 for that, even. Don't petrify. Or if you do, don't petrify the people who are AoEing. Thank you. I have been waiting. Take this cube. Tiamat. Flying fortress, please. I obtained the warp cube. Buzzword. Speaking of which, I do have a ribbon to give to you. Money, money, money. This is the okay, defender. Wizards. Oh, Wizard Staff is likely going to be replacing the claws. That lets me do some free AoE as well. The cube! He loves the cube. Cat's Claw is still really good, though, for this part. There's another ribbon. You can have that, I think. Defender. It'll depend on the element. But for you, I think this is like Fyra or something. Yeah, I just gotta get out. Hello, bad guys. Hydrating. Man, in Final Fantasy II, we got so many agility upgrades in Pixel Remaster, and it did not fucking matter at all, it felt like. I'm recalling now as we get closer and closer to the end of one, even if I have to play one a second time right away. I'm just remembering that we actually got a ton of agility upgrades in Pixel Remaster 2. That's the rare spawn in here, by the way. It's also dead. I don't think I will get Meva levels. We didn't see a single one. That was the biggest problem of our Pixel Remaster playthrough. Ooh, sellout mode. Well, just so you know, not quite a sellout, but I am going to be doing a couple more giveaways before the end of the stream. As is said in the document, we do have giveaways planned at set intervals, given the amount of subs that we have. And so we at least have a couple more today, and then probably one, maybe two tomorrow. So an affiliate that I have, oh, it's Confuse. Oh, well, that's not super important. The Wizard Staff. I'm going to go back to the Cat's Claws then. Yeah, we have Green Man Gaming. Don't forget, if there's ever any discounts or anything there and you buy through Green Man Gaming, it does support the stream. They often have discounts, just need to log in with Twitch or something like that, and then go through the link, and you should be A-okay. You want to know more about SteelSeries? Well, what about SteelSeries? The headsets, the mice, the keyboards. They do have the 60% keyboard for anyone who's a fan of mini keyboards. The recent Apex Pro Mini. That's their singular compact keyboard that they have now. They've been lacking a 60% keyboard for quite some time, if memory does serve. I don't use them, but I know other people do. Let's see. Lufenia. Now I'm going to walk all the way there. Listen, sometimes people want less of a keyboard. I don't, but some people do. I always want more keyboard. I want the XL keyboard. Give me an extra large keyboard, please, with a side of fries. Yeah, no numpad. That's what a 60% keyboard is. So yeah, they want less keyboard for more desk. Yeah, I want the loudest, most obnoxious keyboard as well. I'm big on obnoxious keyboards. The only thing that depresses me about using a controller is that it doesn't sound like a keyboard. I could get a controller that sounds like a keyboard. Is there a controller out there that actually straight up says WASD for this, and then like, I don't know, like 8462 for this, and like it's literally just keys strapped to like a holdable controller with like all the switches and everything built in. They don't ship there. The SteelSeries ships to a lot of places, so that's surprising. I've shipped to people all over the place. So that is very much a surprise. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? At least I think I forgot to do it. I don't think I grabbed the Rosetta Stone. Because I just realized I can't talk to these people, so... The Rosetta Stone's in the water cavern, but it's not... You don't have to get it while you're going through. No, even that still kind of surprises me. Because they're pretty good about international shipping. But I guess it just depends. MMS again for the first time. I mean, they, if you talk about the Aerox 9, the newer one, the Aerox 9 has been very, very pleasant for me. Yeah, it must be a tariff thing. Yeah, for me doing sellout modes in the middle of being quiet. Yeah, make a patent for it. A controller that's just keyboard switches with the actual, like, keyboard buttons on it, like WASD and stuff. Yeah, I actually have to go back to on-rack. I have to go back into the thing, yeah. I should have checked. That's my fault. It's because you have to go the other way. Like, I only went up. I didn't go down. Down is for the Rosetta Stone. Hey, sounds like my plan worked perfectly, Max. Ha, 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 ha. But we were having a good time. Why? True, and you'll have many more points. That will continue to be the case. No, I won't let you make me hydrate that frequently. I do need to check tracking on a package, though. It's like he's whispering in the back of my ear. Not gonna hydrate again! It's weird having point redemptions in the stream all of a sudden, isn't it? After all this time of not having any. Damn, that was a nice health increase. Alright, we gotta loop around and grab that. That's... Thank you. Ad time and emote only mode, you got it. Fortunately, when this goes to YouTube, they won't have to deal with that, but, you know, YouTube ads are still their own thing. Well, actually, that's not true, because that channel won't have ads at first. That channel won't have ads until it gets enough views. Eventually, though, it will. It'll have ads. Although, I gotta make sure it doesn't do... Oh, shit! You know what you just reminded me of? State of the Realm, whenever I upload it, it's not as long of a State of the Realm. But it just, they shove so many ads into State of the Realm. I have to manually go in. And monetization, and manage mid-rolls. Yeah, there's too many. Too many frickin' mid-rolls. I always forget. There we go. Much better. Fixed. Fixed, fixed, fixed. Drink water. No, I have bean water. What do you mean? I have bean water. The best water that there is. You don't like my bean water? So many encounters. I think Ninja pays dividends in the later versions. It's very flexible. But it's gotta be unfortunate if your inner monologue is Titus. This is my story. What's going on, Dacian? I'm doing good. Well, if you've been missing, just as a reminder, if you aren't here for the entire thing, I am uploading these onto YouTube on our new VOD channel. So be sure to, in the count up document, it should be at the very bottom. So as a reminder for that. Hi, YouTube. No. You can't say hi to them. Don't say hi back if you ever see this in the YouTube comment, which you probably won't because that's a lot of YouTube to watch. Don't say it back. Is this one the Thundara? Guess I won't find out this one. That's a Fuke explosion. Yeah! There you go, Paul. Oh, I gotta add that to this. Doom's like, haha, I may not have points, but I have $1. Oh, crap. Actually, before I do this, let me go back through and grab the rest of these items. Oh, my goodness. I might actually want to get rid of that because I think that might trigger something for YouTube. Oh, no, I can actually have YouTube cut that out, but it would probably cut out, like, just a tiny bit of audio. Because it depends. If I'm talking over it, it might be fine. Because people use that in YouTube all the time. The really small section of it's probably okay. But it is a good one. Why? Why level down? What did I do? Listen, that's why I had to put limitations on how frequently those points can be spent, and that could still go down. Y'all get out of hand sometimes.
It's huge.
Thank you. Sometimes, oh, the one to the north. That's the one I don't have. It's the quickest path. All right. It's scary is what it is, Max. I still need... Can I fill your Dark Soul with light? I keep forgetting to do it because I've just been working on so many other things. It's Fyra. Cat's Claw would be better against these. That scared me. Hey, that's, that means I gotta do this. I love crabs. Wait. No, I mean that. No, that's right. That's still true. Don't misinterpret it. No, it's still true. I love crabs.
FBI, open up!
Just going through all of them. Listen, the FBI wouldn't have any issue with me liking crabs. That's not fair. Why would the FBI be so against me enjoying crabs? Crabs are delicious. Yeah, is it a rare, endangered type of crab? Oh, whoops. Hey, I didn't say I was crabbing. I said I was eating them, enjoying them. Now I feel like buying crabs tonight. I'm not going to, but I feel like it. That joke. Oh, give me a crab melt. I want a Krabby Patty. No, but when I was, so not crab related, but when I was young, we had, when I was at the beach, they had what was called a Red Sea. At least I think that's what it was called. And it's essentially a time when jellyfish spawn, so it's all baby jellyfish in the ocean. And they're so, red tide, there you go, yeah. Yeah, red tide, it was just all jellyfish, just had been, it's just, they were all spawning. And there's just like millions and millions of baby jellyfish just washing up on shore. Essentially, most of them die. Like, they straight up, as soon as they leave the water, they essentially completely dehydrate. So whatever washes up on shore just instantly dies. McNear, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Welcome back. Good to have you, of course. Not everyone gets to be a winner. Well, I remember what I was doing is I was on the beach, right? And I was picking up the baby jellyfish. I just want to check which ones were which. And I had like a little plastic cup, and I was putting them in the little plastic cup that was filled with ocean water. And as soon as I would drop them in the ocean water, after they had already been washed up on shore, they just disintegrated. Like, they didn't just like die, like they literally disintegrated, like they had been zapped with a laser beam. It was wild. I thought I was doing them a favor. I was like, oh look, I'm putting these poor jellyfish in this thing. Now they can survive. Nope. Excuse me, not in the slightest. Yeah, we got count up. It's the start of count up. Yeah, I gotta go around. Rosetta Stone's on the bottom right, if memory serves. And nope, it's here. Then what's on the bottom right? That's the top right. And we got our count up marathon for the next year. With how many games we're gonna have to interrupt it for? Even just this month, there's 3 games. Not to mention raid days and Monster Hunter Rise still being of interest to me. No, it was still right. Fortunately, we have exit at this point in the game. It's gonna last longer than a few months, trust me. Final Fantasy 1 goes well so far. We're actually approaching the 4th crystal already. Yeah, we raided last night. Yeah, we should be doing DSR. I think a few people need some gear still on these characters, but after that, I think we are. I'm not sure when we start DSR. We didn't do DSR last night. We were never doing DSR last night. Dragon Song Reprise. Well, yeah, I think everyone's in normal time zones, not across the world like my previous group. Yeah, that's honestly, I had Final Fantasy 1 Rando as a potential one, and then I remembered that it was going to have to be on the vanilla vanilla version, and I'm like, that's not that bad, but at the same time, previous group, too many time zones. We just couldn't do scheduling for it anymore. It was way too much of a pain. Yeah, it's Rin, Todd, Shen, Sand, who usually raids with Rin, and a couple others. Revenge. Not for Final Fantasy 1, I don't think, Silver. There might be, but not that I know of. But there are a few Pixel Remaster mods out there already, though. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Dude, I didn't even remember how to do stuff like P4S, and Rin was making us do like all sorts of like different strategies for no reason. Well, not for no reason, just as opposed to, you know, trying to clear. Oh, I just realized I'm still too early for Mirage Tower. I think all of us except for one are on Ether. I think? Yeah, I grabbed the Rosetta Stone. I need to go to Lufenia. That's why I went to Lufenia before. See, the problem is I went to Lufenia, then I went to go get the stone. And then I thought to myself, okay, now I can go to Mirage Tower instead of frickin' going back to Lufenia. Yeah, I think Shen just needs the visit from Crystal. These things are getting destroyed. Warmech is coming up, though. Well, we have to do Mirage Tower first. Well, yeah, but if we need to do that ahead of time, we will. Like, if we need to make sure we're visited ahead of time. You're filthy. Wash up. Forgot, is there still an NPC I needed to talk to before I came here? It would appear so. Yeah, I always forget the order of things at this point in the game. Oh, I need to bring it back to on-rack. Yeah. It's either on-rack or it's you. Yeah, it's on-rack. The dude who asks for the Rosetta Stone. Yep. God, it's been so long. I keep fucking forgetting. Melmond. Oh no, it's Melmond. It's that stupid dude in the back in Melmond. It's a dude all the way to the north. Cats just trying to get in here? My cats aren't in here. Well, the idea is on days, it'd be a little bit less than 2 hours still. I want to burn 300 minutes off of the bonus time any time I have bonus time, or at least at a max 300 minutes. That's why I landed on 3 minutes per thing. I might actually bump it still, though, because it was bonus time. I might bump it to 4 minutes per sub and then readjust the time. Yeah, I would assume the same, Silver. I think I might lower the steam. I'll probably be making adjustments that, as long as it fits schedule-wise, should be okay. Alright. Yeah, it's a dude in the frickin' back. Chaos Shrine looked like it was floating there. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I kind of hope the same ETH just takes an L. It just lets me focus on... No, it's not you. I mean, it is a guy in the back. I just don't remember. Oh, is it you? Yes, there we go. No, it's not. Let me see that tablet. Yes, there we go. This makes it possible to decipher Lufenian. That's what it was. It all makes sense. Allow me to express my gratitude by teaching you Lufenian. Learns a whole new language. I now know a whole new language. I know Kung Fu. Finally, go back to Lufenia and get the frickin' item to go into the tower. For the 4th time, I think. I wish I was as much of an iron trap with the old Final Fantasies as I am with 14. Those are black and... Well, they're black and white wizard now, but they are there. Yeah, I know. Even if I didn't, I wouldn't be asking. I also still need to go back and buy Holy. Yeah. The vessel you call an airship, it was built by Sid, the first Lufenian. Give me that. Take this chime with you. It will grant you passage into the Mirage Tower. Good old Sid retcon. It was funny to see the Pixel Remaster do the Sid retcon, because the Sid retcon wasn't in the original one. It was in Dawn of Souls. Full Life is very good for this. Yeah, we're gonna grab Full Life. We'll need Full Life, Holy, and I think that's it. I mean, I could get Null All also. That's fine. I'll be honest, the only thing I'll probably use it against is... I mean, if I run it to Warmac, I might have to. Warmac doesn't have that much health, but he's gonna murder me. Oh, Healga. That's the other one I need to go get. Healga. Heal Aga. Thank you. Is it in Gaia or is it in other location? I already have Lazaga. Yeah, I think it's north of town. Yep, I go. Stop's not too bad of a pickup, but it's not important either. No, I don't like the murder robot. Yeah, and then Hilaga is a 7. So I need... Oh, no, yeah, it's in town still. Yeah, it's just down south. Just wanted to make sure I bought the 8s first. This is Kuraja Daijo. So it's in the other spot with the 7s. Okay. And I think that actually is on rack. I'm gonna go back to on rack one more time. The amount of times I've had to backtrack to on rack here is far many more than you're supposed to. One more quick trip. That's all it'll take. It's funny how much quicker these would be, and they're already quick games, if I could just remember things that I've done a million times. Here we go. Sure, why not? Yeah, but I mean, it's just... It's funny. Also, buying Saber is certainly not a bad thing. I can Saber myself on my ninja, but my monk, not so much. Okay. Now, with the chime, Mirage Tower. But wait. No. Ow. Ow. I don't remember if I slept in an inn. Let me just use my tent. I think I have 99 ethers anyway. It's all that I really need that for. I think didn't they mention that in the known issues? Boss, I thought they did. That sounds familiar to me. Yeah, I felt like I had heard that before. I was like, either somebody else has told me this happened, or it was in the notes. Just couldn't remember. I mean, no fighter isn't too bad. Fighter is easy mode. It's expensive in Elfheim, but after Elfheim, it's not so bad. After Elfheim, you pretty much find everything for fighter. I remember a few years ago, I think back when I did the count up for 15, I did 1 fighter, 3 red mages. That was a dumb decision for a casual playthrough. That was a fucking stupid thing to have done. The Elfheim was torturous with how much gil I needed. That was so unwise. Although I think the version I was playing was... I think it was one of the versions where the 15 slide game, I think it was the one where you could get 10,000 gil from it. I think it was. Which helped a little bit. Just making sure. I almost never bring... Wow, I got Guardians really quick this time. I almost never bring Thief, which is why I brought it this time. Almost never. I mean, in the older versions, Thief is a really hard justification, both early and late. In Pixel Remaster, Thief is a lot better. And Ninja, subsequently, is a lot better, too. Best part about Thief and the OGs is just being able to get the fuck away from everything. Yeah, this one goes off the OG rules. This one doesn't have the bonus skill from the slide game, from the slide puzzle. No, the slide puzzle, I think you just had to beat your personal best 3 times. So the strategy is to make your first personal best not... No, actually, I think there's 3 different tiers of rewards, actually, now that I think about it. I think it just depends on flat time. Oh, you know what it is? No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, you know... Because you can't get all the rewards at once, if I recall. I think if you finish it under 30 seconds the first time, you don't get the 10,000 gil. I remember watching people deliberately do a slow slide puzzle. Like, just sit there with it. I gotta remember which version that was. That was a long time ago, though. Just, like, literally one move away and just, like, waiting for, like, a certain time. I don't precisely remember. It has been a hot minute. Ow. Ow. What I'm thinking would have been the PS1 version. That would have been when I saw it, because I was exposed to the PS1 version before any other version. But I don't. But again, I'm talking about things I'm trying to remember from like 20 years ago. Because for me, I saw 7, then I played 8, 7, 9, then 5, 6, then 1, 2. Because I played Anthology and then I played Origin. Although I don't know if I actually don't even really remember how much I got through 2 when I was young. And then I had the 20th Anniversary Edition on PSP. And I didn't even do the slide puzzle when I played that as a kid. I know for a fact I didn't do the slide puzzle. Final Fantasy IV Remaster is good. Final Fantasy IV is a really easy game to blaze through the 2D versions. Also, you really can't go wrong. Most of the 2D versions you can blitz through. 3 and 5 take a while if you're doing any like funky job related stuff. But like 1, 2, 4, 6 can take a little bit more time. 6 again really depends on how you approach it. Final Fantasy IV 3D's not my preferred way to play it, but it's not a bad version of the game. Alright, there's Thor's hammer. It's unfortunate Thor's hammer is so late in the game. I'm gonna need that for the 4 white mage run. That's gonna be an essential part. Getting the healing staff early will be nice. I need to buy Holy as soon as I can. That's gonna be so crucial. Sunblade. Yeah, not great for this playthrough, Thor's Hammer, but it will be good in the future. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why the 3D version of 4 is still a good version, is because it does genuinely have stuff that can be seen as improvements. The whole augment thing I'm not a super big fan of. And I don't really care for the voice acting or the slower animations or load speeds or anything like that. The slower battles as a whole. It's true of it's true of 3D as well. It's one of 3D's drawbacks, but 3D has many other much worse drawbacks. Things that far outshadow that as a problem. Like, for example, if you change jobs, you're just shit for however many battles, depending on which job it was. That was a great system. Love that. Ow. That's gonna do a lot, yeah. It's also dead. No, I don't need heal Aga. Alright. It's still a little whiles away, because I have to get through the rest of the dungeon. But... where is this? No. So we are not going to be hunting down Warmech. Just to be clear. Let's see. I'd say, yeah, we'll do about 5 minutes. I'll say within 5 minutes. I'll give it 5 minutes of encounters on the bridge. Now, keep in mind you have 5 minutes for that prediction, but we won't know the result until we actually get to the bridge. Now, if I do encounter him, I'll fight him, but I'm not gonna farm. I'm not gonna try to, like, if I die, I'm not going back for a revenge attempt. Especially given I'm only in my mid-30s, and you really want to be closer to 50 when you fight Warmech if you want an easy time. So feel free to get your bets in. Healing Helm, Protect Ring. No, it's not personal. That's more the point. It's not personal. I'd try to get a higher level if Warmech... Okay. I mean, I don't do achievements in 14, really. I only do the ones that give me rewards that I actually care about. Especially crafting and gathering. I don't touch that shit. I have the better achievements. Eludi does. Eludi does achievement points. Chia used to also. One to the south. God, I love the heal staff. Honestly, I could do it just using the healing helm on the ninja also. But, eh. Yeah, if it's for a title like World Class Troller, I'll do it. My 3 million ocean fishing points. So great. God, I hope they don't add another troller title. Please don't. If you add another fishing title and it's awful, that's fine, but don't add another troller title. No, no snorts. Thank you. It's nice when my monk finally has the most health. I mean, he's had the most health since he had about 400 health, but just looking down at it, it was such an infrequent thing early in the game. All right, there is one in all but the southeast. Okay. Well, we'll see. It's pretty even. We're not too far away from it, but I am going to collect all these chests real quick. There's our third ribbon. No, no one-shots, please. Southeast is the only one that doesn't have it. Unless it was southwest and I just saw it wrong. Let's go west first. Oh, it's freaking slow. Stop. Nice. So many encounters! Nice. Considering that's just an item use, it was southwest, not southeast. Southeast does indeed have loot. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. You need to stop trying to will fishing achievements into existence. Black robe and white robe. Yeah, if I recall, I tend to not swap. Well, I can swap to it on you, but not on the other one. Actually. That will come in handy. I'm hydrating. Heck no. I have no interest in that in 14. Title's just fish. No. I have one of the luminary gathering tools. I have the pickaxe. I don't know why I did it. To this day, I don't really know why I decided to do that. I did it back in A Realm Reborn, just all that time ago. That's a lot of gathering. That's a lot of items gathered. All right. It's almost time. No, there's no way I would know that. In all honesty, no way I would know that. No, the luminary is you need to gather, what is it, like 10 level 1 to 10 items, like 100 level 21 to 20 items. It like adds up and then it's like 3,000 of the last one or something. All right, so we've got one more floor before we have to do that. I think in total it's like 3,000 and something. I don't remember. Oh, I went down because I'm an idiot. I was supposed to go south and I went north. Dummy. There you go. Doc's got it. Yeah, I have the pickaxe for that. I don't have the other ones. Yeah, that might be it. I mean, I did also level my chocobo to 10 back then, and that was awful. It was basically hope nobody else is killing water elementals in Shroud, the level 50 ones, and just go. Alright, next floor is the bridge. Dark Fighter, I think that's the... No, that's not the rare spawn, I don't think. The other one. I mean, War Mech is the real rare spawn, but not what I meant. Soldier is relative. I remember taking a while to find Soldier when I did my 100%. Yeah, I have definitely no interest in working on the Pterodactyl. No, thank you. The Pterodon. Sasuke's blade. Anime. Anyway. Wow, it's so crazy that they would name... you know what? I'm not even going to finish the joke. You already know what the joke's going to be. I'm not going to finish it. Not going to do it. It's too late in the day. I make this joke every time when it's in 14, when it's in Final Fantasy 1, doesn't matter. I'm not finishing it. It's not funny. That's why I'm not finishing it. Stop laughing. Stop looking at me, Swan. Yeah, see, that more accurately represents the joke. Correct.
What am I fighting for?
Also fairly accurate. And then the last 4 chests are up north. I don't even know why I'm collecting all of them. I don't even think, even if they have something good, that they're anything I need at this point. Encounter. Oh, I was right. I'm getting to the end of my coffee here. Cagnazzo toaster. They're gonna throw us off and just make it. Stop it. Stop it, Toast. First of all, there were 8 circles, not 6. Second of all, stop it. Yeah, for Troya. I think he'll be the last boss of Troya. Okay, which way do I go then? Up 2, left 2. Or one of them could be all of them. I mean, the big gimmick of the 4 Arc Fiends is that they're supposed to resurrect and fight you all at once. And I know that sounds like an ultimate style thing, but I mean, that is a big thing about them. See, I thought about that, but I feel like that's actually wasted potential. I'd rather Skermiglione be the first or second boss of the dungeon and be the last boss of the dungeon than be a boss of the dungeon and then only his second form is the trial boss. It could. I've considered it, but... All right, 5 minutes. I'll wait till exactly 5:50, and then we'll start. So we've got 5 minutes. If Warmech doesn't find me, then we're leaving. No, probably not. Considering I doubt we'll have a boss that's special to the story by then. Point 1 to point 5, we didn't have a special point 3 boss. It was just Ramo. And they said this is like point 1 to point 5. 2.1 to 2.5, sorry. I mean, if you keep the mechanics... Oh, there we go. If you keep the mechanics at extreme difficulty, it doesn't really matter if you... If you have 4 bosses or 1 boss, if the mechanics aren't hard, the mechanics aren't hard. No, that's not gonna be something we deal with anytime soon. That would be such a waste to deal with that so soon. When I see only 1 name at the bottom, I genuinely get scared. I'm like, don't do it. I am fighting these, so that does pretty significantly dig into the time that I have to potentially see. Yeah, probably. They're not gonna make it like a 20-minute ultimate. I mean, a 20-minute extreme. 12 minutes is like the upper level of what an extreme usually has. I want the EXP! I don't want to run. Fine, I'll run. Want me to run? I'm a man of the people. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes it takes longer to run. Sometimes. Because fleeing in the Pixel remasters is weirdly slow. I mean, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be 4 separate fights. They can all be 1 fight. They don't all have to be 1 at a time like the original. Think of all the wasted EXP. Again, sometimes it takes longer to run than it does to fight. This encounter, oh, that one came pretty close. I was only 1 attempt away. No, because if I'm just gonna hold down auto battle, then I need to commit to one way or the other. Whatever the auto battle is set to is what it's being committed to. I am making sure that I don't have it on all the time. It just needs to be on here. Listen, I got less than 3 minutes. Wait, what? I mean, Golbez was never going to be the 6.3 trial. It's never going to happen. Let me rephrase. It could absolutely happen, but only if something drastic happens in point 2. Like if in point 2, if we fight all the fiends, maybe. Yeah, he might not even be The main thing that tells you that the 4 fiends are side content is they weren't voiced in that scene. Literally completely surrounded by the most voice acting we've had, but they never voice the side content unless it's like the encounter itself. Like maybe the extreme itself is voiced, but like not cutscenes with them. What do the Omicrons have anything to do with anything? Oh god, I got poisoned. Yeah, that is the question. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by the Omicrons are involved. But the Omicrons aren't involved in the trial at all. That's why I'm confused. They exist. No, I'm not. Oh, this. Okay, that's one of the. That's a horrifying account. That's almost scarier than the war mech is. All right, time's almost up. And I can't believe some of y'all even believed war mech was going to show up in 5 minutes. Oh, I mean, there's no way of knowing that. I mean, that's just, you know, pick what you think will happen. Okay, technically the 5 minutes is up, but I'll do you a solid. I'll do one extra. Yeah, y'all just like throwing points away. I'll give you this. If somehow War Mech shows up before I touch the crystal right there, before I start the fight, if he shows up in these next few steps, I'll give it to you. But I don't think that's going to happen. There you go. I mean, y'all were real brave to bet on that. Anyone who bet yes on that, knowing War Mech is as rare of an encounter? Y'all were brave. The Lich, Marilith, the Kraken. You have defeated 3 fiends and reached my lofty perch. I think it's 1 in 255 is right. I think it's actually, no, I think the odds are a little better than that. All the better. May the image of Tiamat, fiend of wind, be the last to burn in your eyes. Yeah, 1 in 64 sounds right. Wait, which one did I make you do? Oh, it said it at the bottom, idiot. Oh, it's only caster's attack, yeah. Please get a good turn order. Good turn order. Yeah, good turn order. Yeah, between fire and lightning is normal. Mine's gotten really good health rolls. It's insane how much health I have on my white mage. It's stupid. Oh, I didn't mean the Giant's Glove again. That was dumb. It doesn't matter. Tiamat's not long for this world. Told you. I knew Tiamat wasn't long for this world. Damn! 33 health from that level. I mean, didn't get much of anything else, which kind of sucks. That's 30 health. See, look, my white mage got another 30 health from that level up. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's good, but it's insane. And if I'm not that lucky on the 4 white mage run, we're gonna have a problem. And that is the 4th crystal. Now we can go to the past. Oh no, I need to swap back to using Fyra. I think you go... Well, I mean, I know the Chaos Shrine is next, but I think for the next cutscene, it's back to the... I think it is. Yeah, because I know that just once you have all that, it's just a matter of finishing it up. But I think you have to do a cutscene in Lufenia? Damn, that was another chunky one. I'm here to kill chaos. I'm here to be chaos. I keep forgetting to swap him back to Fyra. For this, it doesn't matter. Burp, burp, burp. Wait, I just realized something. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter because I don't think I yeah, I couldn't have even used it this run, so I guess that's fine. Doc Ray, thanks for the 64 months. Oh my god. I think I can actually just go to the Chaos Shrine. I don't think I need... I think there's a dialogue that tells you if you don't already know. Yeah, because I just remembered I didn't collect the adamantite, but it doesn't matter for this run. Oh, chaos! I should spend all of my remaining money real quick. Yeah, we're just not doing it consistent for like months and months and months. It's like on weekends and when there's not other game releases. That way, if I need to like not do it because I need to like work on stuff or anything, I'm not super pressured to do it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't burn out doing it that way, but 16 is so far away and there are so many other releases. I think it's the best way to do it, especially because I want to do stream extensions on those particular days. But if I have to do 12 hours every single day because people are going nuts, I think it's not going to be good for me. Yeah. When I did it before, I didn't extend the streams at all. The true root of evil lies ahead. I am definitely playing God of War. Remake is an incentive. Which almost certainly I'll reach anyway. One step forward and you will travel back 2,000 years in time. Boy. I don't remember you taking all that damage. I have 99 whatever, so it doesn't really matter, but, you know. Intermission? You mean intergrade? I mean, intergrade is just remake. Yeah, no, I mean, that's just... For me, that's so short that that's not... It would be so small of a goal. That it's just, as far as I'm concerned, it's baked in. You're scaring me, gaming. No one-shots. Stop. Ow. Alright, we don't need to do that. Nah, we don't need to do that. I just need to do this. Goodbye. Kira, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Let me add that to the list. And that's another 15. Like I said, I might even add more time to this. We'll see. Retroactively to the remaining time, though. I looked away and looked back. I thought that was Scourge one-shotting my whole team. Briefly thought it was Scourge. Wouldn't have been surprised, to be honest, but, you know, it wasn't. That... Really? How did you know I was gonna use fire? That's bullshit. I mean, I'm not changing what I'm doing. I'm still just gonna fire you. That's fine. Less of you alive, easier it is for me to actually use... Never mind, you're annoying. Oh, I was really hoping they were gonna go first with the healing staff. Hi. Joke's on you, I don't have any buffs. Out of my way, idiot. This layout seems super empty. It's like there's mobs missing. Damn, another 33 health? That's just another 6, but still. Those health values are dank. Play that loot, baby! It's weird that Jack would just... I mean, actually, it's not weird, if you think about it. It's actually very not weird that Jack would do that. Given how he got along with Sarah. It's like, Sarah. When the real warriors of light come, make sure to give them your loot. That's how I'll know that you sent them. You're like, it makes sense. They would do something like that. 25 health. Not bad. 37 agility, too. I heckin' love healing staff.
Mr. Piccolo.
True story. Chris Sabat does the voice of Garland in the Dissidia series, so fitting.
I, Garland, will knock you all down.
Healing staff is just so... I mean, usable items in a game with limited spell casts are always going to be strong. As long as the spell is semi-decent. The Mage's Staff isn't too good, but there's... Actually, so Mage's Staff shouldn't be very good, but there's a lot of undead that are weak to fire. Oh yeah, I can't do it either. I don't blame you. Yeah, it's just very fortunate how many things are weak to fire in this game. Well, looks like we'll get to our 4 White Mage run tomorrow. Basilisk. Success! I know a few. Arthur's plays Monster Hunter keyboard and mouse. I think B does too. Play Golem, please. We're so close. Yeah, I would never want to do it. The difference is I would never want to do it. Yeah, I know bow users who don't use keyboard and mouse until they play bow. They're like, only when I'm playing bow. Because of the aiming. Ow. Don't like that. Also don't like that. I do like that. Alright, yeah? Give me a good turn order, baby. Good turn order, good turn order, good turn order. Not good turn order. Oh, he's so gonna die anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, or you can just miss. That's cool too. I guess since I have the whatever ring.
I don't give a fuck who you are.
It's a little dangerous to be doing that, but it should be fine. Holy's so pretty. Yeah, second turn should be Saber and Haste. Also, it doesn't matter because Lich is dead. Lich can actually be one of the worst of the 4 rematches too, because he has so much AoE spells. He just didn't use any of them. Oftentimes, I find he's the worst of them. Ah, there's the door. Hey, listen, it's a great line. Wouldn't change a thing. Such a good game. Really is. In like the weirdest of ways. I have no idea how that game sold. Would very much. I mean, I know like the easy to track stuff, but not everything. We'll wait till the next financial report. No ambush, please. A lot of damage. Do Final Fantasy 2 like what? No, like strangers? No, don't do Final Fantasy 2 anything. Do nothing. Damn, almost 50, actually. No, you stop it. You stop it right now, Alice. You know what you've done wrong. No, that game definitely has... That's nothing to do with anything, Elixir. Absolutely nothing to do with anything. That's not how that works in any way, shape, or form. That's not how that works. Okay, temper, attack. I'll do healer just in case, and then haste. Please give me a turn order win. Please, turn order win. That's not a turn order win. I wasn't small. Assets have very, very little to do with what your budget is going to look like. That's not a way to judge it. Considering having a few monsters that are identical is not the same as having... is developing a whole game. The only assets that are quote-unquote reused in that are potentially repurposed ones from other games. Yeah, designs. Yeah, also, more likely designs than assets. They can't just port an asset that is not built for that. I mean, there's no doubt about that. They definitely use stuff from... I mean, you can see it with the animations at times. Still, it doesn't translate to it not having a budget or a high budget. That game still definitely cost them a pretty penny to develop. Let's see, are there any chests? No, just looks like through bottom right. So exit out this door, go across. Can I go between those? If I can just go between those, then it's just in and okay. Well, I mean, a big thing with that doesn't surprise me about that is that Final Fantasy is classically a few enemies and then a billion reskinned enemies. It's actually very, very Final Fantasy. Yeah, I mean, that's RPGs in a nutshell. It's a lot of reskinned assets. Yeah, Dragon Quest took it a little far. Though actually, it's the same in Final Fantasy 1. It's a goblin and a goblin chief. Or a goblin guard or whatever it is. It's a goblin and immediately a reskinned goblin, and a wolf and immediately a reskinned wolf. In basically record time. And then another reskinned wolf by the time you even reach like the first or second dungeon. You have a red wolf, a blue wolf, and then whatever the heck the werewolves are colored. Yellow, green, I don't even know. Yeah, it's like this weird, like, bright color. Oh no, yeah, I just have to go out this way. Yeah, Monster Hunter uses skeletons, same skeletons for a lot of stuff. Works out very well. Did you just say the word hip check? Plural, words. There's two of them. Match hip check. No sleep. Give me the healing staff. Go next. Yes. Turn order win. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. Hey, thanks.
What am I fighting for?
All I did was sneeze. That's all I did. Why the despair? You know, when we played Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster, we lost to Chaos. He just had way more health than I thought he had. I ended up just running out of heals and losing. Hoping that doesn't happen again. We beat his ass the second time, but I was surprised at how much health he really had. That was through Proterra. Ugh. This is fancy Ultros. Haha! You suck! Ow! That's through Proterra. He would have one-shot anyone that didn't have Proterra. What a dingus. She looks quite dapper tonight. No snorts. No blinds. Sometimes damage just hurts. It's weird. I don't remember what's in the chest. I think it's Masamune. I think it might be. Oh look, Iron Golem. That's the rare spawn. I got like almost every rare spawn my first time through except for Warmac. On this playthrough, at least. Now there's 2. Effective. Oh, that dude's dead. They got him. Dogie, this will be fun. Ow. Ow. Well, then you missed the count-up video, Zodiac. Because I did make a trailer for YouTube for count-up. Listen, this is an easy game, Enclave. It's not my fault. Yep, that's the Masamune. I did remember that correctly. The real question is who gets it. Probably, nice. Probably just my ninja. I mean, I could give it to my black mage so they can deal damage without casting spells. Yeah, you don't watch it. That is fine. I'm here to kill chaos. Let me see how much... Ugh. This sucks. 4 stone golem encounters sucks. Koba, thanks for the 8 months. Yeah, we have a command for it. Let me add that to the list. Oh. Thank you. I didn't even see how much the Masamune ended up doing. $450. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's probably the best play. Because then I can triple haste temper with the melee black mage with the Masamune. Masamune. Should make chaos just a little bit. Because it's about the same damage as flare, but flare is obviously a spell. It's a spell charge I'm not going to use either way, but you know what I mean. I can haste temper and get a lot more out of it. In this case, I can haste Saber, since I do have Saber on my Black Mage. The 13 strength, but hey, it's still a good weapon. The only problem is taking that many turns to set it up. But it should pay off. I just need to make sure I have the Healgas every single turn. As soon as I run, as soon as I'm almost out of Healgas, when I'm at 2, I need to spend a turn in Elixir, the White Wizard, on Chaos. Because I think it will last long enough for that to happen. Start with that. Actually. That's not too bad. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Unfortunate. Shouldn't really mean much, but it's wasted turn. Got a little too comfortable there. It just means before I even get buffed, I should just start attacking with the other ones. I shouldn't even buff. Ugh, maybe I should have buffed. Yeah, it just depends on how many hits I land. He's almost dead anyway. It's one more turn. Oh, I got a really low roll, so it's not one more turn. Now it's one more. That's what I was hoping for the last time. And with that, we come to chaos. Oh, Jack, I'm home. That's a lot of damage. All right, first and foremost.
Do you remember me? I was once the most renowned knight of Cornelia. "2,000 years from now, you killed me. I am Garland. Oh, you did defeat me then. But the 4 great forces saved me by sending me back through time. Once here, I sent the 4 fiends into the future, where they shall once again use the 4 great forces to send me into the past. In 2,000 years, I'll remember none of this. But I will be reborn here again, so even as you die, again and again, I shall return, born again into this endless cycle that I have created. I am chaos!
Alright, let me be careful with my frickin' casts this time. Are you fucking kidding me? 2 turns in a row? I have to full life for a turn now. Well, that's the other person I wanted hasted at least. Why is he so fucking fast? Stop going first. Hell no, the start of Final Fantasy 1 is really rough. Especially in Marsh Cave. Billion Antidotes helps, but there's some really awful enemies in there all the same. I need to keep track of my charges. Oh my word! Oh, that's right, they didn't have Proterra. That's not too surprising then. Dude, leave him alone! Chaos hates ninjas. It's about to be on item duty if this keeps up. How many charges left? 3? Okay. Next turn, I'm using an elixir on them. Next turn, I'm using a Phoenix down on them. I'm a little concerned because I might want to try an X potion them too. God, he is just, even through Proterra, that's nuts. That's annoying, also. That's very fortunate. Okay. Now it's an elixir turn. He still has to heal. Actually, you know what? Not gonna lie, you should do it. Alright, now is big AoE damage phase. Let me make sure my next turn's actions are the correct ones, yeah. Should just be Healga spam at this point. Yeah, because it should just be a bunch of AoE damage. So it should be all auto battle with Healga from this point on. At least until he decides to melee somebody and one-shot them. As long as he doesn't do that, then this is where we're at for the rest of the fight. That was pathetic. What the heck? How many? 4? Okay. Ow! Remember when I said the plan would change if that happened? Plan changed. It's actually really, really shitty because he's probably going to do a big AoE this turn. And if I don't get a good turn order... Okay, he didn't. He just one-shot somebody else instead. He's getting rid of all my buffs is the problem. He's literally killing everyone who's buffed. So fucking annoying. My ninja's the only person left who's buffed. Alright, so here's what's gonna happen. Temper. What are the other ones I have? Confused, Diara, Blink, Heal Thundara, Scourge, and Viscera. Might be a bad idea to use Invisera. Wait, what's he casting? Temper, okay. That's good. Blizzara's really good turn. Next turn is an Elixir from the Ninja. And then Black Mage is going back to casting. And should be fine from that point. Getting really sick of that. Oh, he's dead. He was so close to dead anyway. Getting real sick of killing everyone in one melee hit. Hey, I beat Chaos. Hey guys, I was here to kill Chaos. And I killed Chaos. By the way, Final Fantasy 1 has the worst ending. It's such a bad ending. The time loop was severed at last. The endless struggle that raged over 2,000 years had ended, and peace prevailed once more. The light of the four crystals restored the forces of wind, water, earth, and fire. It was a mere trick of fate that had given rise to the chain of Garland's wrath. It's so slow, but magnified by the four forces meant to guide our world. That trick of fate also gave birth to the fiends. Monsters had run rampant as the world sank into darkness. But all that is now past, as we wait for the scroll to eventually speed up, which it won't. With the four forces flowing as they were meant, the warriors prepared to cross time and return to the world they knew. A world where Princess Sarah, Queen Jane, and even Garland himself await. When was this fateful day that sent time spiraling into a loop? I know the answer. I know when it was. I played it. No, we can say. Pick me. I know. I'm here to kill chaos. It seemed the cycle into which time had fallen would last forever, but the bravery of four young travelers changed that. They took the forces that filled the world with darkness and used them to bathe the world in light. None will ever recall the struggle the four endured, for the breaking of the chain meant that it never existed. But within the tales of fantasy that people tell, the memory of their deeds lives on. ... Tales of dwarves and elves, of dragons and shining civilizations that reached for the heavens, even as they fell. And now their return is upon us. With the memory of their struggle buried deep in their hearts, They will quietly watch over our world. Remember always that the forces of the world must be used as they were intended, that the power of light must never be used for dark, and that the true crystals reside in your heart. Kingdom Heart! No, we're moving on. For you are the warrior who crossed time. Okay. It's still going. You are the bringer of light. Yeah, that's the DLC. That's actually the DLC. Jack's trying to get the Keyblade. So that he can kill Chaos. It's such a slow crawl. It really is. The end. Now I think there's to the fans across the globe, both past and present, and to the crew who brought the originals to life, we offer our profound and heartfelt thanks. And then it's an actual credit crawl. At the about a little bit faster of a crawl. So keep in mind that tomorrow we did already unlock 4 White Mage as a run. So tomorrow we start 4 White Mage Final Fantasy 1. Which will not be as quick as today's was. There are some genuine struggles with 4 White Mage Final Fantasy 1. I mean, you saw, I'm almost level 50 and I'm still getting slapped up by Chaos there at the end. Now, we will have Invisra, Protera, like we will have all the buffs, and we will have a few items to use as well. Until we have White Robe. Once we have White Robe, it helps a little bit. We'll use White Robe for Invisra, most likely. No, I'm using this OST. I love this OST. And just in time, because my cutoff time for the day is in about 13 minutes. So we made pretty good on that. Man, you know what's crazy? If I didn't have Mog Talk today, I would have finished this 2 hours ago. And we would have already been on the White Mage run for a little bit. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take. 4 White Mages is a lot tougher. There are very particular struggles with 4 White Mage. Especially because you don't get Thor's Hammer until super late. Yeah, it requires some grinding. A big thing to remember is you can go over level 50. And on 4 White Mages, there's a decent chance I need to go over level 50. There's a not insignificant chance that that is gonna need to happen. Because it is an ordeal. Yeah, for the early portion of the game, it's gonna be about hoping for health level ups and strength. We need strength level ups early, and that is not something White Mage gets a lot of. But we are so desperate for strength level ups early. Every strength level up we get just makes some of the bosses a little bit easier. We need melee stats. As soon as we get holy, which we can get relatively early, we just have to, I think we just have to wait for, no, we need the airship. So yeah, we need to be able to do the ice cave. So we'll need to go, we'll probably go and do Earth Crystal first, then go to the ice cave, or yeah, Earth Crystal, then ice cave, then immediately go get holy. Yeah, and we need Diaras and whatnot. We need to get access to Diara. Diara, Diaga are like mandatory for any undead. We almost have to run from anything that isn't undead and only fight things that are undead. But early, we're going to have to commit to maybe killing some ogres. It would be so much nicer if Thor's hammer was early, but it's fucking not. Thor's hammer is before Tiamat. It's in Mirage Tower. Now, there is some solace in that the Masamune, I think we can use... Masamune, I'm pretty sure, can be used by anybody. So one of our white mages can Masamune on Chaos, at the very least. I think on Tiamat and on Chaos, at the very end. Yeah, but killing ogres on 4 white mages is awful. It's a terrible, terrible ordeal. And things like 4 scorpions are infinitely worse. Yeah, but the point is, for Thor's hammer, it's not until so close to the end of the game that it's suffering most of the time. If Thor's hammer was like a little earlier, well, I mean, I can get to Mirage Tower. If I really try, I can get to Mirage Tower early. If I just go strictly for the Rosetta Stone in the Water Cavern, or in the Sunken Shrine, I can get to the Mirage Tower before doing a lot of that stuff. And yeah, tents and ethers. Ethers is going to help a lot. Ether's probably the best quality of life, but it's gil. It's a lot of gil. Any dry ether drops we can get too from some of the enemies is always nice. But yeah, there's a lot of... The good news is almost every piece of equipment that sells well, we can sell. Every mail, every fighter / warrior piece is essentially a payday because I can't wear any of it. So that helps alleviate some of the issue, but Elfheim is still a big issue. It's honestly, it's almost as big as an issue as it was here, a little bit less, because you don't need everyone to have every spell. You really just need Diara across the board at that point. And there's an item that also has Diara on it, but I think that's kind of late. So what we could do is, as soon as we open up with the Nitro, I think we need to go to Crescent Lake and get the canoe. And then as soon as we have the canoe, go to the... I think we have to go Ice Cavern and try to flee through everything and then kill the eye. We might have to really quick save flee through some early stuff just to get to some items. Because if we do that, if we go straight to Crescent Lake, get the canoe, go to Ice Cavern, get the levistone, get the airship, then with the airship, go to the caravan, buy the ferry, go to Onrak, go into the Sunken Shrine. Well, we'd have to go back to Gaia first, but then go back to Gaia, go to Onrak, and then from Onrak, we get the Rosetta Stone. With the Rosetta Stone, we go get we go to Melmond. Then from Melmond, we go to Lufenia, and then from Lufenia to Mirage Tower, loot Mirage Tower, and then double back. There's a chance I need to actually do something like that to make my life easier, because the item pickups I can get by doing that are pretty significant, because that's basically all the level like late 30, 40 stuff. So the items in there vastly outscale the items that you get from the earlier portions, but it requires quick saving and running non-stop. You can quick save, pray to run. If you don't, you load and you move again, and that'll reset your encounter tiles all the same. So It could be adventure time. Instead of grinding, we might be able to. Well, we'll have to grind to get to that point, but we'll also need to probably skip around because if we can get Thor's hammer early, it's a huge attack boost, and it's a huge quality boost having access to Thundara. The healing staff also, by getting the airship, we can by getting the canoe early, we can go and get healing staff really early. And we can get our job advancements early. So that, yeah, I think getting the canoe and then literally staying away from all the other crystals and just trying to just beeline for strong items might be a better play than trying to play through the game normal and get to those items when you're supposed to get to them. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be really awful doing most of that because we're gonna die. We're gonna game over a lot doing that. But it doesn't matter if I game over a lot. No, you're right. I do need to kill Lich. So we'll have to kill Lich first. Yeah, because I need the canoe to kick it all off. So we're gonna have to do the earth crystal first, which was what I said initially. Then we need to go out of our way and go way out of order there. Yeah, because I don't think you can get to the ice cavern. Can you? No, I don't think you can do that either. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. Just need the airship. That's correct, Chaos. I definitely think beelining for the Thor's hammer well before I go there is the play, though. As soon as I can get through Earth Cave, I think it needs to happen. Well, Final Fantasy 2 will most likely be next weekend. It might be Wednesday at the earliest. Because I think Monday we're going to do Monster Hunter Rise, which is not part of Count Up. And then Tuesday I have 14 stuff. I have Raid, I have my weekly stuff like Unreal. The 24-man, my hunts, like I have all my usual. The end, by the way. Just in time. Yeah, it took me 8 hours. I mean, look, my original playthrough took me 10 hours. The 100% playthrough took me 10 hours. Although and that literally has 100%. It's an extra not even 2 hours over what I did today. So, 14 levels lower, however, which I think is because it took me so long to find Warmech that I got to the high 50s. But I lost the chaos on the first attempt on this save file. I remember that very, very well. I think it was very similar to the way that this run went, where he started one-shotting people, and then my white mage needed to play catch-up. Yeah, it took me about like 45 minutes, I think, to find Warmech on that save file. Oh, man. Well, within the next 3 minutes, that will be what my time would be capped for count-up. So, because I'm going to be live for 3 more minutes, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 300 from the bonus time. Because that's 5 hours. 2 p.m. is my normal stop time, regardless of how the day goes. Anytime over that is taken out of the bonus time. But we have already earned a 4 white mage run of Final Fantasy 1, which will take longer than today's, without a doubt. You can tell from even just me talking about it. And we also unlocked Final Fantasy 3 3D, which I won't do till after I do Final Fantasy 3 Pixel Remaster. So tomorrow is going to be Final Fantasy 1 for white mage. I can be coerced into more 4 runs. Remember, this is a year-long marathon, so I am coercible into certain bonus runs or attempts of things or challenge runs or whatnot. It will work. It's worked before. It's just gonna really suck. We need a lot of HP. A lot of HP, Proterra and Invisra, and a hope and a prayer. We have a lot of healing for Chaos, but we really, really need to be able to survive 1 hit. 4 Black Belt does have issues with buffing against Chaos, but they also have no issues surviving against Chaos. Because unbuffed Black Belts suffer a little bit until they get to 50. Once they're 50, it just takes off from there. And they also get through most of the trash really quick. Yeah, the bonus time... See, the thing is, no matter what, I'm doing this marathon. So, it doesn't make sense for me to have a countdown like a subathon, because 7 hours, I'm always going to do my normal stream time. You know what I mean? 2 p.m. as my stop time is normal. I'm not going to be like, well, you guys didn't earn it. The marathon's over. Wouldn't make any sense. What I might do is I might buff the bonus time from 3 minutes a sub to 4 minutes a sub. That I might do. We'll see. And if I do, it'll be retroactive. I have a total amount of event subs, and I'll know how many days I haven't done it. So yeah, it's like, nah, fuck it. We just abandoned count up, you know? Like we're not doing that. No matter what, I'm doing 1 through 15. It's all the bonus stuff that's added on there. Well, no, I don't think there is going to ever be extra bonus time. I don't think that's possible. Like, if we were to somehow finish every Final Fantasy game in existence that I'm willing to play for this marathon, like, why would I even convert the bonus time into? Because, like, sooner or later, we'll have to consider what we're doing for World of Final Fantasy, for, Type 0, if I do agree to do that, because that's a bit of a struggle. I mean, people have been asking about Final Fantasy Explorers, which I do have a 3DS, like a capture card 3DS. I do have one. So 14, all the details are in the command. That being said, it's 7 p.m. I did not take a food break. Tomorrow, there will be a food break. Around 1 o'clock, I will be stepping away. I'll be going to my Be Right Back screen, which I did make a version of the intro screen that just says Be Right Back. And I will go get food. I'm going to do it before the bonus time, though. Tactics mobile version. We'll see. I mean, Tactics is probably, it's going to be on there. But, like, those things are, like, way down the line. We're going to focus on the main numbered games first before we get back to doing things like Tactics. But it is 7 p.m. I'm 5 hours over time. We have subtracted 300 minutes from the bonus time. Tomorrow, we will take lunch before the bonus time kicks in, to be fair to the bonus time, because it'd be kind of fucked up if bonus time started. And then I said, I'm out. See, I need to go get food. Unless I just don't count all of it. But, you know, that's a pain in the ass. So, thanks all for hanging out for a full run of Final Fantasy 1. We will have a couple of giveaways tomorrow as well. We do have a few in the queue, and we're going to keep those spread out throughout the event for the sake of keeping them spread out. And, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the first day of Final Fantasy Count Up. So, I will see you tomorrow for 4 White Mage Final Fantasy 1 and food. So, enjoy the rest of your evenings, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.